love the comic scene here. This town has always been unique among other towns in that Portland, how would I say this? I guess Portland is a loud town. It's loud in the sense of whatever it does, it's going to do it, it's going to do it well, and it's going to make a very loud statement. So we've always had more bookstores and comic stores per capita than anywhere else in the United States. You look at the people of this city, and the people are very demonstrative about how they feel.
Children chase me, people go bzzz at me, it's too much.
You'll see people here with more tattoos, more piercings, very outspoken about their political feelings, their sexual identity, and whatever else. We are a very loud town in that you're going to know how people feel, and it'll be pretty obvious that we're just not like a lot of other cities.
I love Portland. I think it's a great town for many reasons. It's really great for the vegetarian community. I'm vegan, so that really helps a lot. It's really got a great creative scene. I love the weather, I love the rain. It's just really a beautiful place to live.
The whole do-it-yourself culture just thrives here. You know, zines, recording studios, small comics companies, bigger comics companies, and I'm finally getting used to the weather after being here 10 years. So I love Portland. I love it a lot.
And I talked to some guys who've moved here, and it's like, oh well, the reason they like it here is because there's enough culture to keep them, occupied, but not so much culture to keep them preoccupied.
I just want to be here for a while. I love, the smallness of it, but also the fact that there's all this cultural activity for such a town of this size.
I used to originally think before I moved here that it was unique because it rained all the time, so therefore people came here because you'd be more likely to stay in and get work done than go outside. The weather's nice, you want to go outside. When it was raining, oh, I'm going to stay inside, oh, I might as well work. It kind of harbors that certain creativity a little bit more is what I initially thought. Now I have no clue. Now I think that's just a good place for creativeness to germinate. That's the only thing I can think of. It's a forward-thinking town, and it has good public transportation, which I, for some reason, equate that into why people like it here, particularly comic artists. Because a lot of comic artists tend to be broke. So having good public transportation helps.
You can move to Portland, and if you're penciling one book, the money that you make if you're working at Marvel or DC is going to, pay you enough that you can make a comfortable living and maybe even buy a house.
I think that Portland itself gives me a lot of inspiration and has given me the amount of time that I need to work on my own projects by being a cheap place to live, where you don't have to work very hard, or you can work jobs where you have spare time or where you're doing something you like, so then you're not drained of energy at the end of the day, or you can work part-time and have all this other time to draw.
I've lived in other places where the lifestyle has left me feeling kind of stressed out, and just by virtue of how relaxed I am living in Portland, how much I enjoy being here, I feel like, my work is better for it.
We have more writers and artists here than anywhere else other than New York City.
It's uncanny is what it is, because anywhere I look, on any given day, I'll see somebody reading a comic. And I've never seen that any place else that I've ever been, where you can be on the bus, or in the library, or any number of places, coffee shops, restaurants, and see someone reading a graphic novel or a comic. That doesn't happen most places.
There's a much more receptive community to it here than anywhere else. Why that is, I couldn't tell you, but it's just cool. People are cooler here in Portland.
You have to have a modicum of intelligence to want to move to Portland,
When you talk about the best creators in the industry, both mainstream and indie right now, I think a huge chunk of them live in this town. I mean, in terms of writers, you've got Brian Bendis, who I think in terms of mainstream writing is as good as they get. Same with Greg Rucka. In terms of artists, you've got Matt Clark, Andrew Johnson, Paul Guinan, Pete Woods, Rebecca Woods. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on.
I mean, so many people that do the same kind of thing in the same place. And that there are, I mean, there's such a large scale. Like, there's places that will help you self-publish your things. And then there's some kind of small presses that will help publish your things. And then there's like Top Shelf Comics is here, but also Dark Horse Comics is here. So you could move here if you wanted to be around other comic artists or be around a supportive community for comic artists. And if you wanted to, your stuff will get out there.
I think it's helpful that we have those publishers here. I think that maybe a certain kind of creative type is drawn to this sort of climate.
It's weird that they all kind of migrated. We've all kind of migrated to Portland, but I mean, a lot of the big shows are, you know, down in California, and it's a 2-hour plane ride. With FedEx and stuff like that, it's not a very expensive city to live in.